to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
Today we are talking about Past Lives. This was a critically acclaimed film of 2023, and because of what we do, I think we were both aware of it, but it just kind of, slipped under the radar. But no, it was a critically acclaimed film for good reason. It stars Greta Lee and T.O.U. I hope I'm saying his first name is literally T-E-O. I hope I'm saying it T-O or Teo, and his last name is U, Y-O-O. Anyway, they star as two childhood friends who grew up. One of them, Greta Lee's character, immigrated to America when she was 12. Then they catch up as adults. 12 years later when they're both 24, and then another 12 years later when they're both 36 at that point. And really, it's just a tale of their friendship. You're really just watching a movie about two old friends and I guess potential lovers, because they never actually developed into anything as kids. But two old friends, and they had crushes on each other. You're just watching them, catch up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of like if you're in anime, it's like a slice of life. So, Jovi, go ahead, tell us your thoughts on this, man.
Well, yeah, we discussed before, as we do, not going too deep into it, but it's more like, I don't have much to say, but that is not a bad thing.
Right.
This movie is truly a slow down and kind of just listen, just listen to life kind of film. It was very refreshing that I could sit, I was folding laundry while I was doing it, and I was just there. You do have to read for everyone that doesn't like to read.
Yeah.
This is a Korean film, so it's awesome. I mean, they do speak English in it too, but
yeah, it's like half Korean, half English.
Yeah.
So when she's talking to Korean, she speaks Korean, and in America she speaks English. But yeah.
So again, refreshing. I haven't said that in a while about films that we've seen. It's more like, again, if you want to just kind of separate the chaos of all of our lives, sit and watch this film. It's very kind-hearted. It's slow. It's nothing, but progression is done well, which is funny to say. It's slow, but how the scenes progress and how time progresses is very interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, so what you just said perfectly described this movie. You said slow down and listen to life.
Yeah.
That's what this is. So like Joey said, I don't have too much to say. I mean performances, cinematography, all that. If we're not calling it out, it's all good, right?
Yeah.
So I guess there are two things I want to focus on. First off, their friendship I thought it was very cute.
Yes.
It was very cute. It was. It's like, when she leaves and they're like kids, they're like having so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, this is sad. And then 12 years later, when they're catching up over Skype after not having seen each other, it just feels like, literally it's like they're just picking up where they left off.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. And then, when she's like, I gotta focus on my life in America instead of looking at the past. I thought that was pretty cool. And just...
That was heavy.
Yeah.
That was heavy because of, if you even think about that time frame in life, we're not that far off from their age in the film. We were Skyping. We were on AIM. We were having conversations with people elsewhere, and those things happen where it's like, why am I talking to you online when I have others, like my life exists?
Yeah, exactly.
So I do. That is a huge plot point to the film.
Yeah, but all that is to say, there's not really... So this movie's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a huge love triangle situation. But there's not really conflict in this movie.
No.
Not at all. There are very, like you said, there are heavy moments. Like, there's one scene that, it's close to the end, I think, where him and her they're just waiting for his Uber to come pick him up because he came to visit her.
Yes.
And there are no words, and they just stare at each other's eyes. And, you can just tell, there's so much said that's unsaid.
Yeah.
It was a great scene. And then after he leaves, she just cries.
Yeah.
I
bawls and cries and hugs her husband, which I was like, man, that's a strong man to be able to literally accept that his wife really cares for another man, but it's not in a disrespectful way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say. That's the only other thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Shout out to Arthur, her husband.
Yeah.
And I need to look up his name.
His
name
character,
John Magaro, who plays him.
Yeah.
He was a great character because he's he's a writer, just as Nora, the girl in this movie, is a writer. And, like, he's like, when the dude is coming, he's like, why are you with me? He's like, if this was a book, I would be the guy interloping and interfering with true love or whatever.
Truly. That scene was...
which was a great scene.
Oh, man, it was dark, and it was, like, they were lighted perfect from, like, the window. It was like, this... Yeah. I was sitting there like, that's
when
really
the
good
dialogue shone through, right? Because there's not a lot going on.
No.
And that was a great conversation they had. And at the end of it, he's just like, you know what? He's your friend. You should see him. And even when they're all going out and those two are speaking Korean, he can't really understand. He's just like, you haven't seen each other in a long time. You need to do what you need to do.
Right.
He was a good man. And you know what? It's just, side note. I have a lot of female friends.
You do.
I have a lot of them.
I do too.
And it's just... when I'm talking to them, like, and I often go out and I'm talking to them, and like, their man or whatever is on the side. Like, me and her know just how these two knew. Like, there's nothing between them. Yeah. But like you said, it takes a strong man from experience to be able to be like,
this is cool.
Fine,
like y'all are friends,
right?
Because a lot of people can't see that.
Exactly. So shout out to him. I thought he was a good character, and like I said. It was never threatening to the point where you thought she was going to leave him. Mm-hmm. Like, I think even like halfway through the movie, you knew like, she's never going to leave this dude, right?
No.
But it was
that's her person.
Yeah, it was her person. And but even still, it was cool to see. It was cool to see.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. There is a Korean, like, it's a cultural side of it where they talk about like life and life after and life before and all that, and it kind of all ties. It's like this circle that hits itself over and over again as the theme goes on. Like, yes, I had a life before this, I have a life now, but I do have another life. And he was it Daniel? What was the Koreans? He didn't have
Hae-sung.
I
don't know why you called him Daniel, but okay.
It's like, that's not his real name either. Why am I thinking of I think that's another Korean show I've been watching, because I watched this because my wife bought it.
Okay.
I wouldn't have watched it. And
okay.
She is the Korean, she knows all of the shows in the movies, so that's why I watched it. But no, he was just like, maybe this is our second go-around, or our third go-around, or our fourth go-around, and we were together in the past.
Well, no, I don't... Well, yes. Yeah. So, I think, because, like, there's... Like, if you watch the trailer, this isn't a spoiler, they talk about this Korean belief, and I think it's called In-Yun, which is, like, basically, every time you interact with somebody, it's because you've met that person in a past life. Yeah. Like, even if somebody, you accidentally hit them, like, you brush shoulders with them in the street, you've met that person in a past life. Yeah. And I think it's after 8,000 times you've met this person, that's when you get married. Like, if you married somebody, it means you've met them 8,000 times. So, like Joe was saying, Hae-sung is like, you know what? Maybe, he's like, maybe this is a past life, and in the future, you and I actually end up together or something like that. Yeah. That was also a very heavy moment, too.
Yeah, and that's like...
It was sweet.
And you're sitting there like, cool. Like, he kind of accepts it. Because he's the one that travels, and I guess this is kind of a spoiler. He travels to her, and after all of those years, but it wasn't for her.
Yeah, it's kind of for him and for both of them. Because I mean, I think she even mentioned she had tried to go.
Yeah, she was in Seoul, and he didn't respond. So it's like
so it's interesting. It doesn't feel sad, even though like it seems like it should be. Which goes to a testament to how good this movie was directed.
That's it. I mean, I think we're just going on and on because it was a solid film, and that's what I texted him before he even watched it. I was like, hey, I just watched a solid film, and he said, well, I'll check it out.
And I think this is one, keep physical media alive if you can. This would be one to actually buy. Like, I actually like this movie that much, so. And unlike other movies, I have to say this, it does not take a long time. I think it's under 2 hours, which is, like Joey said, refreshing for a change. Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, it starts I love the way it starts. Mm-hmm. I love the way it starts because you get the same shot at a different angle at the end of the movie.
Exactly. The end of the movie is at the beginning. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, man. So what would you give this, bro?
I don't have anything negative to say about it, so I'm giving it a 5, and I haven't given a 5 in a while.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I'm gonna go 4.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 4.5, just because. I can't think of anything that's
Right.
wrong. I mean, there might have been, slower parts, but I mean, it was really good. But yeah, I'll give this a 4.5. So your Small Couch Review score 4.75.
That works.
Check it out if you can, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please hit that subscribe button and the little bell. And yeah, when you do see it, tell us what you think right down there in the comments, y'all. Until next time, we out.
Deuces.